Welcome to Let's Curate's webcast series. Our fourth international multimedia exhibition, The Magic of Chaos, is now live. This year's theme focuses on makers whose aesthetics break the rules when it comes to concept and form to give birth to a new creative order. Today, we have the pleasure of speaking to Shruthi Krishnaswamy, founder of the jewelry brand Jewellery. Welcome, Shruthi. Great to have you with us today.
Hey, awesome to see you this morning.
I'm so excited to dig deep into your world and your process and how you got to where you got to. Every one of us has moments of inspiration that sort of jolt us out of the mundane and sometimes set us off on a different path than what we had planned. Was there any such moment for you, and does that connect with, the origin of your brand Jewellery?
For me, my love for art started way back in childhood. I used to get selected for curated art competitions right from elementary school. And then I went on to do an art exhibit in Dubai way later in 2017. And in the midst of all of this, I was in the corporate world, in the field of learning and organizational development, had a great career there, but realized that something in the art space is really my heart's calling. And it was in 2013 that I launched my first hand-painted accessories business that mainly focused on purses. And that was my first foray into wearable art. Been a fine artist since I was a kid, but wearable art was my new space. And I just, I had this old tainted handbag and I was like, I want to upcycle this. And that's when I just painted a tree on it one day, and Pictura Arte, that was my first hand-painted accessories business, came to life then. And then that, I guess, it sparked the idea of wearable art. And since then, I've also been a yoga teacher, and the mindfulness aspect of yoga comes into play very much in Jewellery, the creation of Jewellery. Music is another aspect which is a big part of Jewellery. Jewellery itself is a Hindustani classical rag in India. So there's a lot of different elements coming into play with respect to Jewellery. And I was always inspired by my mom's love for diamonds, but I was equally drawn to all kinds of jewelry, like folksy, ethnic, cultural, avant-garde, fine, demi, bohemian. It was, the world is my oyster, and I can be both minimalistic as well as maximalistic. So a very different vibe than my mom, who's always very minimalistic and elegant and sophisticated, but not out there. Like, she wouldn't wear these hoops that you see on. But for me, sustainability was a big part of this as well. Being a yoga teacher for several years, for me, mindfulness is about intention. It's how we breathe, we move, we live, and I wanted to bring the same thing to Jewellery. And so each piece is a reminder to express oneself with authenticity. And I have varying pieces in the Mitra collection, my first collection. It is inspired by the sun god in both Persian and Indian traditions. And it also means friend. So the tagline for the collection is, "You're my sunshine, you're my friend, you're with me wherever you go." So it's to instill this radiance and abundance in human beings, right? And hopefully they can pick a piece and it helps them shine brighter today. And we all have good days and bad days and different moods. And part of creating Jewellery was about, how can I express myself today? And so there's tiny pieces, there's larger pieces, there's a total of 18 pieces in the collection, and you can mix and match earrings. So I'm wearing the sunshine hoop, and then the sunshine necklace, the sunshine split ring. But I could have mixed and matched this many different ways. And I'm also wearing the sunshine bracelet. So you see, sunshine is a big part of this whole collection. And so I wanted to create something that's art, memory, as well as just presence. And it's about the energy that's infused in every piece. right from sketching, doing the first sketch, to going through the entire technical process, getting it to CAD, and then eventually casting it, and then working with artisans to polish and finish the product. So it's a combination of both artisanship and technology that's used, as part of the Ashawri process. And I'm involved in it start to finish throughout. And so my breath goes into every move that Ashawri makes. And one of my goals was to create pieces that are timeless as well as expressive, and yet responsible and conscious of the world that we live in. And that comes from my yoga journey as well. So for me, it's more than just a brand. It's art, it's design, it's mindful living.
Fantastic. This is so fascinating because every time I speak to an artisan or creator, this is the beauty of my job. I get to hear different creative perspectives, and it's incredible how you've taken it from your love for the arts, inspired by your mom, and bringing it all the way to this incredible sustainable brand, which also ties in with your focus on mindfulness as such. You shed a little bit of light on the process per se, but I'm curious to know more about how do you take it from an idea, how do you actually get to the idea, to the finished product, and some of the pieces that you're wearing. I can see the inspiration behind your theme. If you could just pick one piece and take us through how you got from the idea to that particular sort of finished product.
Absolutely. So I was born in India, raised in the Middle East, lived in about 12 cities across 4 continents and 6 countries, and traveled to about 75 different countries. So that's a lot of numbers there. I'm not big on numbers, but just to give you a feel for, the exposure I've had. And I am inspired by everything, really, from everyday life, right? From nature, architectural lines, music, flora, fauna, just any kind of shape that I see. So shapes are a big part of it for me. Geometry is big for me. So I love creating sculptural pieces, and eventually hope to see like more of a 3-dimensional collection as well. So it starts with just sketching. So I'll just sketch different ideas, and I'm really sort of old school with just a pen and paper, pencil and paper. And then it goes through iterations, and then I'll probably take it to an iPad, so I can finesse it a little bit more on Procreate. And then it goes to a CAD designer. I work with a CAD designer to perfect the CAD design, usually goes through a couple of iterations there. And then it goes to the manufacturer who does the cast, creates the first sample. And it doesn't always work out in the first sample. It may have to be 1.8 millimeters instead of 1.6. So there's all these tiny details with thickness and feel, and each piece is different. So we go through a couple of samples, and finally we get to the final prototype, and we're ready for not mass production, but semi-mass production, I guess. We're doing small batches. So it's really small batch production. And so there's not going to be too many pieces of each in the world. So finally, that's how it goes to the finish line. And then, of course, there's artisans sanding, polishing, getting it to the finale.
That's incredible. There are so many people behind a brand, and you just sort of unveil the curtain behind all the hard work that goes into. And in the end, it's this one beautiful piece, but it's almost like a million thought processes, 10s and 20, a huge number of people behind that, their own processes, their own skills. It's sort of like a journey that travels through many hands, many brains, and then you wear it. So I especially love when it's every person's input into that one finished product, with you obviously leading the brigade on that front. So that's fascinating to me. Can you tell us more about your collection for our exhibition? We're presenting 6 of your beautiful pieces. Take us through them, please.
Sure. So I've already shared a little bit about the Mitra collection. So it's geometric pieces inspired by the sun, infused with gratitude for its abundance, warmth, and healing energy. I see that's sort of the design inspiration for the collection. And we also have the symbolism of pearls infused there. And pearls are a gemstone of purity, balance, and inner wisdom. And it embodies the fluidity of water and carries healing properties. So we hope that the healing energy of a Shavri, fills people up. It's jewelry that radiates friendship, warmth, and timeless strength. Starting with I Am Everything, the statement piece. So it's really sharp lines paired with this large oval pearl, and it blends the masculine and feminine. So it's very yin and yang to really feel everything. And we have the left side brain and the right side brain, and often we pigeonhole ourselves into one side. But really, we are everything if we dig down deeper. And so it celebrates that unity, and saying, I am everything and I am enough. And it's really intricately handcrafted, this piece. There are a lot of elements in it. It's a very bold expression. It is a very sculptural, bold piece. And it's definitely a conversation starter. Seen that happening a lot. It's pattern meets meeting, form meets flow. That's I Am Everything. Sunshine hoop that I'm wearing, it's really light, it's deceptive, but you wear it and I don't even feel like I'm wearing anything. So it's about the sun meeting the earth, the pearl right there as a sign of wisdom, and it's bold without being bulky. Curves and straight lines. Again, here you can see a little bit of that yin and yang in the piece, and you'll see the rays of the sun across the collection. And it's a great everyday piece that'll just lift up your day. You can wear it day to night, dress it up in all kinds of different ways. The cuff bracelet that I'm wearing, again, you can see the elements, the pearl, the rays of the sun, and it's the serenity of the pearls with the sun's energy. And it's the lotus too. We do call upon the lotus elements here, rising from deep dark soil. It's also about that resilience and strength. This collection is very much about that. The sunshine split ring. So it's divided yet united. That's sort of what I was thinking about, since it's split, but it still comes together. This is, again, a little bit more of a statement piece, I'd say. Not an everyday piece, more an evening piece, or, if you want to wear just that one thing, it's great. The sunshine pendant, which I'm not sporting, is very similar to this, would go well with the set. With this, it's very similar in design. This is actually the Simplicity sunshine pendant, and it's a really, really simple, sweet, everyday piece. You haven't featured this one, but it's also part of the collection. And then the triangular goddess is another really avant-garde piece that's inspired by triangle, the alchemical symbol of fire, creativity, and transformation that comes a lot from my yoga journey. It's about strength, harmony, renewal. So it's blending symbolism with modern design. And again, not a piece that everyone may go for, because it's out there, it's a statement. And that's why I have a combination of different pieces in the collection. And we have the wisdom ring as well now featured, which is really a simple, adjustable, everyday go-to ring. And that's so versatile, because that's a perfect gift for anyone, because it's completely adjustable. You don't have to worry about size. You can just throw it on. So there you go. That's, I think I've given you enough about the collection. I can keep talking.
And we love to hear you talk. It's always, you're so filled with joy, and it reflects in your collection. When you were speaking, there were like 3 words that just popped in my mind: thoughtful, joyful, classic. And I think that's what really defines your collection. And of course, the magician behind your collection, that's you. You know, you've like really kickstarted on this very exciting journey, and we are excited to know more about what we can expect next from you and your brand.
So the upcoming collection is going to feature some enamel works and work in artisans in Jaipur. So it's sort of blending color and heritage craftsmanship with Ashawri's clean, modern design language. That's what I'm looking at, infusing some more color in the next collection. So I'm really excited about that. Also looking at deepening community through some trunk shows, collaborations with other artists, and more storytelling that, where we can highlight artisans and inspirations too. I'm hoping to do more of that, hoping to start an India chapter for Ashawri. My roots are in India. I was born in India, and I would like to expand more in India and the Middle East. So that's definitely coming up sometime in 2026, fingers crossed. We want to just continue to build a brand that's rooted in meaning and stories and personal connection and conscious luxury. So at Ashawri, I'd say if I had to come up with one line, I'd say what's next is more than jewelry. It's about creating conscious luxury that connects people, stories, and craftsmanship in every piece. More about sustainability is really central to Ashawri's philosophy, and we're using recycled, nickel-free, lead-free platings, emission-free gold coatings. That's something new that we're bringing into the market. And the collections, it's about the collections being small, intentional, and we're trying our best to manufacture jewelry with minimal waste.
That is so wonderful. Storytelling is at the core of our mission also, and I think this is precisely why we're so perfectly aligned and we found each other. Call it fate, call it anything else, but it's such an honor to present you and your collection at our exhibition this year. I want our listeners and viewers to know that Magic of Chaos will go on until December 24th. And we hope you all enjoy and get your hands on one of these one-of-a-kind masterpieces by Shruthi Krishnaswamy. For more updates, follow us on Instagram at @lets_curate, and happy curating, everyone.